By the early 80s, the initial excitement about teaching chimps sign language had faded, and the American government withdrew its funding. For 13-year-old Bowie, it meant going back to the harsh world of biomedical research, this time to Jim Marney's lab.
Bowie arrived along with almost 40 other chimps. He seemed to settle into Lemsip. Obviously, there was an enormous change in his lifestyle. And he became just one of the chimps who was going to be used in hepatitis research. And eventually, of course, he was supposed to have been used in AIDS.
At Lemsip, Bowie was put in a cage on his own. But this was one of the first centres to address the boredom that chimps faced in solitary confinement.
It was truly quite spectacular to see the way they would pick up a little plastic mirror and a comb or a toothbrush and use the mirror to examine parts of their body, and you'd find them cleaning their teeth and doing their eyes, and just amazing. Even down to playing a mouth organ. And I remember there was one chimp in particular was incredible on the harmonica, and he'd even hit it every now and again to knock the spit out. You know? Sometimes these chimps will take into human activities as though they'd always done them. Every now and again, what we called a circus, and that's when there were enough people that were free that we could put on a little party for the animals that would last maybe an hour, and we'd blow up balloons and bring in all sorts of games, and we'd go in jumpsuits and we'd paint the white jumpsuits different colours and patterns, and we'd wear bright coloured wigs, and we'd just play with the chimps and let them play with the balloons.
After 16 years at Lemsip, an American TV company heard about the sad story of Bowie the signing chimp, now in biomedical research. They suggested he be reunited with the man who taught him sign language.
And they said, wouldn't this be a great reunion to get you out? Do you think he will remember you? And I didn't think he would. And it had been 16 years. I'd changed, he'd changed. I went in, I pulled the mask down, and he recognized me immediately. And we started playing games that we hadn't played in 16 years. Bowie, how you doing, Bowie? How you doing? How you doing? Do you remember? Can I play? What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? Bowie, yes, you're Bowie. And not only did he recognize me, but he remembered something I'd forgotten, and that Bowie had a nickname for me. And that he was such a fast signer. He was always very, very, I guess he'd become a little fast talker, somebody who talks really, really fast, a jabbermouth or jabberhands, if you will. And his name sign was Bowie, and my name sign is Roger. And what he would do is when he'd sign Bowie, or when he'd want us to do something, rather than signing Bowie Roger, he would take his name sign and just flick the top of his ear. It was like saying Raj or something. And I'd forgotten that. He's the only chimp that's ever called me that. Do you remember Roger? Yes. And he started doing this, and suddenly I realized, my gosh, that's my name. He remembered my name. And it was great fun. I mean, it was like no time had passed. And he was the same little boy, even though he's probably 140, 150 pounds now. What gave me nightmares after that was when I told him I had to leave now. I said, I have to leave now. And rather than screaming or begging to come or to go, he accepted it, but he accepted it with such weight and sorrow, and that you could physically see him in this shot. It was like somebody put a huge weight on his back, and he was crushed, and he moved to the back of his cage.
In the 40 years they've been used in research, the lives of captive chimps have improved. Most animals are now held in social groups until they are needed for an experiment.